Welcome to Team Kill, Episode 8. Today I'm going to be reviewing a video game on my own. Actually, I'm not going to be doing a music review. I will be reviewing Chrono Trigger DS. What is there to say to start off with this? It's very faithful to the original. Chrono Trigger was originally a game on the Super Nintendo. It's a classic tale of your main silent protagonist, and he goes around, saving the world, except this time he does it by jumping through different eras in time, all the way from the distant future to the much distant past. It's a mix-match super group as far as the video gaming industry goes. It had the biggest names from Squaresoft, from Enix. It had the music director from Final Fantasy. It had the artist from one of the biggest animes that I enjoy anyway, Dragon Ball Z. The entire Dragon Ball series, Akira Toriyama did the artwork and character design for it. And he was the head character lead of the Dragon Quest series at the time, or Dragon Warrior if you want to call it. But the game has an unbelievably deep plot, multiple endings, 12 in the original version, 13 in the new DS version. The game carries over very well on the Nintendo DS. There's very few instances where you actually have to use the stylus, which is generally one of my biggest piss-offs with the system. I hate the touchscreen. It's absolutely useless. I have very few games for my DS, most of which don't use the touchscreen for anything more than menus, which is exactly how it should be, which is exactly how Chrono Trigger is. All of the menu work can either be done with the buttons themselves on the DS, or you can use the touchscreen for quick access, which I kind of like. The buttons are big enough so that you can hit them with your thumb, which is what I do. Graphics are unchanged, a little bit tidier, but unchanged. The music is identical. They actually added in a few tracks that didn't make the original cut of Chrono Trigger, which I enjoy, which leads me to the bonus dungeons, which sucked like a massive amount of donkey nuts. I haven't actually played through the game enough yet to get to the second secret dungeon that they added, but the first one was balls. It was absolutely pointless. It was nothing but mindless WoW quests, where you run over here to the NPC, and you talk to him, and he's all like, "I need you to get this item for me. It's in the one dungeon you've been to 15 times already." And then you run back over to the dungeon. Ah! And you get into the dungeon, and you just start hacking at enemies, and you kill whatever it is that's holding your item. I got a sword! And then you run back to the NPC, and he's all like, "Oh, thank you for getting that item for me. Here, I have a gift for you. It's a weapon." Absolutely pointless. The one thing I hate about MMOs is the mindless grinding and mindless NPC quests, and they added an entire fucking dungeon to Chrono Trigger based off that one aspect. And it's in 2 different time zones. Ugh. Fucking annoying. All the other bonus features that they added for this new release. The bestiary is nice. Image viewer is pointless on the DS because the screen is fucking that big. They have an interesting dungeon map viewer where you can go back and check out all the other dungeons you've entered previously, and it's got like a treasure guide on. It shows you which treasures are in the dungeon. The downside to this, it can only be accessed while you're outside the game. Kind of making it pointless, I guess. I mean, if you wanted to write down the maps and maybe write down the treasures on them and you could find them that way, or you could just do it your fucking self. I mean, that's what I did. Didn't even realize the damn thing was there until I had beaten the game. But it does have an ending viewer, which is nice. Keep track of which endings you've gotten. Right, so there's one more mode I want to make a comment on here. It's what I like to call the Pokemon mode. Basically, they give you this tiny little creature, and they expect you to train it, to send it into different time zones, so it can gain new special abilities and evolve and turn into other Pokemons and battle other monsters. It's absolutely fucking useless. The items you get for it aren't worth the money you spend training the creature, and it doesn't further the story at all. There's no point for it to even be in the game. Swear to God, the developers were just sitting there beating their heads with like a monkey wrench or something while playing an old Game Boy and like, "Hey, we can use this, it'll be fucking awesome." No, it's not fucking awesome, it's fucking useless and shouldn't have been there. You should have spent your time developing the secret dungeons. Overall, the game is a classic. You can't go wrong picking it up. If you you've played it before, now you've got a handheld version of it. If you have the PlayStation version, get this one because it's basically the same thing with the cutscenes and all that good stuff, minus the load times because it's not on a fucking disc, especially a PlayStation 1 disc. And if you've never played it before, I don't know what's fucking wrong with you. You've got to have your head up a donkey's ass. If you've played video games and you haven't played Chrono Trigger, I should punch you in the face with a dead puppy. Regardless, old stuff, fucking A. New stuff, fucking boo. I don't know why they decided to add what they did add. It was a decent attempt and a good try. Overall, Chrono Trigger DS, fucking get it. It is awesome.